All right, hi, this is Mr. Honstadt, and I want to go over the pickleball unit with you guys so that you can get everything down and watch this video and get all the rules, and then you can take the quiz, and it'll be no problem. Pickleball, it is fun for all ages, all right, guaranteed fun. It's one of our favorite units to do as teachers, and I know a lot of students like it. It was supposedly named after a Cocker Spaniel named Pickles who liked to steal the ball and hide in bushes, but if you look at Wikipedia right here, you will actually find that maybe this history isn't exactly the correct history. Right here it says the game started during the summer of 1965 on Bainbridge Island at the home of Joel Pritchard. Okay, apparently he and a couple friends were trying to play a game of badminton and they didn't have a birdie. So they basically improvised with a wiffle ball, lowered the net, and voila, pickleball. And the name actually, supposedly, according to him and his wife, came from Joan, who said it reminded her of the pickle boat and crew where oarsmen were chosen from the leftovers of other boats. So anyway, just a couple ideas about where it maybe came from. Alright, so we got a pickleball court right here, and in our gym we have 5 pickleball courts on each half of the gym for a total of 10 pickleball courts, and our net runs all the way the length across the gym. And if you take a look at the lines in our gym, we do have all of these lines down. Some of the lines run into each other, so maybe one line is a lane court line, but then in the back of the line you'll be able to see where it turns into a pickleball court line in the serving line. So if there's any confusion, always look at the baseline right down here and you'll be able to see, generally speaking, which court you're on. Take a look at this video. This is Mr. Hawk. He's going to demonstrate how to do the underhand serve.
Alright, so when you're serving the ball in pickleball, you need to hold the ball out in front of you. You need to serve the ball underhand, which means you're going to swing the paddle next to your hip. You must strike the ball below your waist level, and you can't swing from the side, so it's almost imagine as if you're going to scrape your leg with the paddle. So you're just going to swing forward, underhand, strike the ball below the waist.
Let's talk about serving rules. The server must serve to the cross court or the court diagonally opposite of the service court. Okay? And if the serve hits the net but lands in the correct box, a let is called. You can have as many of those as you want. Alright, serves cannot be returned without letting the ball bounce before it's contacted. And serves must be returned by the correct player, because if they're not, then that's a fault on that team. So here's how the serving order works. Alright, the team's points will be even when the game's starting server is on the right hand side. Alright, points will be odd when the game's starting server is on the left hand side. Right? And so the server, he or she is going to alternate between the right and left service courts after they've scored a point. After the first server's team faults, then the second server will continue to serve from that server's last side position and then alternate positions as long as the serving team continues to win points. The big thing with serving you got to remember is the receiving team, they can't switch sides to get a more favorable returning position. Each person has to take turns returning a serve. The team serving the first serve of the game, so if we win rock, paper, scissors, and my team serving against your team, we can only commit one fault before the service is passed on to the opposing team. After that, each team member serves until the player loses the serve when the team commits a fault. So we would both get to serve, and then once we both faulted, then the serve goes to the other side. And what side of the court are they going to serve in? It's either the right-handed if it's an even number score for them, or a left side if it's an odd number. All right, after both players have lost their serves, like I just said, the serve passes to the opposing team. If a ball is served out of order or from the wrong court, then the service is a fault. The main thing you got to remember with serving order is this. If it's an even score, the serve should be coming from the right side, from the right service box. If it's an odd score, it should be coming from the left service box across diagonally, and you can see that in this diagram right here. Scoring. You're going to play to an odd number score, whatever we tell you to play to, depending on the day. All right, teams can only score when they're serving, and you have to win by 2 points. All lines are in. And here's a real good point. Okay, players can only make calls for their side only. So if my opponent hits a ball over and they think it's in, but I clearly see because it's on my side that it's out, then I make the call that it's out. If there's a big disagreement, then we will resolve that amongst ourselves as a team against the other team. All right, spectators, we do not have an official or a spectator who should be there calling because it just usually causes trouble, and so we don't want spectators calling ins or outs. All right, here's our non-volley zone right here. You can see on this sample court. A volley in pickleball is any time you hit the ball in the air without letting it bounce. So in the non-volley zone, all that means is you can't hit the ball in the air while your feet are in this zone. All right, so if you step into the zone and hit it, or if your foot's across the line and you hit it, all right, that's a non-volley zone fault, and the ball goes to the other team. All right, or it goes to the other server. All right, in the non-volley zone, you cannot volley the ball back at any time to the opposing team. All right, double bounce rule. So each team has to play their first shot off the bounce. After the ball's bounced once on each side, then both teams can either volley the ball in the air or play it off the bounce. Faults. Faults are caused by hitting the ball out of bounds, hitting the net, stepping into the non-volley zone, and volleying the ball, or by volleying the ball before it's bounced once on each side of the net.